At 94 years old, my grandfather finally achieved his long life dream of publishing his first book. The reason I'm telling you that is because so many people are stuck on the idea that they're too old to do something. I'm too old to fall in love. I'm too old to start a new business. I'm too old to start over again. I'm too old. I'm too old. You're not too old. You're not too old for anything. Like I said, at 94 years old, he was able to publish his first book. He is now 97 years old almost, and he has published, I believe the number is 6 books since, and he's just spent his time, he spent the whole pandemic writing and releasing books, and he's happier than ever. And he's doing a lot of things that he didn't do before, which is wonderful. And I'm so proud of him. And I think it's so amazing that somebody at his age can still have dreams and still work hard to fulfill them with passion. And I think if he can do that at that age, all of you out there in your 40s and your 50s saying that it's too late, give me a break. It's not too late. You can go out there, you can do whatever it is you want. You have energy still. You can still move around and do whatever you want. You still have the stamina of a much younger person than what he has. And he's still out there outdoing you, outworking you. Why is that? Because he doesn't think that the age limits him. The only thing that's going to stop him from writing is when he finally goes. And that's it. So if you think of it that way, you say, well, you know what? I'm still alive. I still got my health. I have I'm alive, period. The fact that you're alive, you can do something. Whatever it is that you can do at whatever age that you have, whether you're 20 years old or you're 80 years old, you can do whatever it is that you want. You just have to want it bad enough, and you just have to start blocking yourself. You have to stop telling yourself that you're too old to do something or whatever else, whatever other excuse you're giving yourself to not do the things that you should be doing that actually will make you happy, that'll make you feel like you're contributing to society, like you're actually helping people, that'll make you feel useful. Because at the end of the day, if you don't feel useful, you're not going to be happy. That happiness that you seek is called fulfillment. And fulfillment happens when you feel like you are useful to somebody. To many people, hopefully, maybe to one, it doesn't matter. The fact is that you feel like you can still give. And when you're writing well into your 90s, when you're making music, when you're in your 60s or 70s still, when you are starting a new business after you retire, all these things have been done. There are people doing this every day, and they do it because they know that they can. They know that the only thing that can limit them is death. So there is no excuse that's big enough to stop you from following your dreams. There's nothing, nothing. So it is important for people to just go out there and realize that this limitation of age is something that you've got in your head. I see this every day with language students that tell me they're too old to learn English. That's bullshit. I had an 82-year-old man about 5 years ago come into a class. He spoke nothing. He could say hello and goodbye. That's all he could say in English. And within 3 months, I was actually having very simple, but I was having conversations with him. He was able to at least maintain a simple dialogue with me. That is a lot considering he was 82 years old. His dream had always been to learn English and he never had time for it. So now that he was retired and had the time for it, he decided it was about time he did it. And he did it. So when I have people in their 40s and 50s telling me they're too old to learn a language, sorry, I'm not buying it. I've seen what people can do when they apply themselves. So there is no such thing. Stop it with the excuses. Everybody has an excuse for why they can't do something. There's always something. Stop making excuses and do it. The only reason you're not doing it is because you're not allowing yourself to do it. And you know what? if it's just because you don't want to do it anymore, it doesn't fulfill you, it doesn't light you up with passion, then just quit doing it. Stop trying to do something that you don't want to do just because it's what you wanted 10 years ago. If you wanted to be a musician, you wanted to be a famous musician when you were in your teens and 20s, and now you're in your 40s and you're still going at it because, well, that's what you always said you wanted to do and you want to prove everybody wrong. Yeah. But you don't feel it anymore, then there's no reason for you to do that. You should only be doing that if you still feel it, if you still wake up every day with that hunger to make it in the music industry, with that hunger to have a number one hit, with that hunger to make music. If you don't have it anymore, you don't owe it to anybody. So stop. Do something that fulfills you. You owe it to yourself and no one else. Happiness is your choice. Your happiness will come from your actions and your decisions, not somebody else's. Happiness is not outside you. You're not going to find somebody that's going to make you happy, as we all think. When you're looking for true love, you're not looking for somebody that's going to make you happy. You're going to look for somebody that's going to make you feel full, fully you, that's going to accept you for who you are, and it's going to complement who you are. That person is the one you're going to fall in love with. And when you find them, you will know. Trust me. That's how I found my wife. You find these people. And when you find them honestly when you actually stop looking for it. When you're constantly looking for something, you don't find it. When you finally decide, you know what? I'll find it when the time is right. Let me keep doing the stuff that I need to do. Then you're going to find what you're looking for, whatever that is. But that's the thing, you have to move. You have to act, you have to do things. Because if you're not moving and acting and doing things, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're not gaining new knowledge, new skills, and things that will make you useful. Again, bringing you back to being useful and being fulfilled because you have something to offer. So stop making excuses. There are no excuses for um, limiting yourself and keeping yourself away from a life that from the life that you're supposed to have, from the life that you were born to have. See, I really do believe that everybody in this world, that our default setting is happiness. Think about kids, not even when you were a child. Just think about all the children that you've seen. Children, for the most part, are happy little creatures. They run around, they're laughing, they are just having a great time. They are happy. They look at you, they're happy. You make a funny face and they laugh. Everything is happiness when you're a child. What happened to that happiness? Well, you started growing up and you started hearing what other people had to say. You started listening to your teachers and listening to your parents and listening to everybody told you that, it's not all about fun and games. You have to get serious and you have to do well in school and you have to do this and you can't say that and you can't do that and please stop doing that. And they criticized every little thing you did. And I'm not trying to blame your parents or teachers. Trust me. That's not what I'm doing here because I told you no excuses and no blaming. There's no blame game here. But because of the way that they raised you, you started losing that happiness because it got replaced with other things that were, you know, things of great importance, things that you had to take care of. And that happiness started going away and your settings started being modified. You started changing the settings here. And, we get to the point where you are now. And some people are happier than others. And that's how it is. But our default setting is happiness. And the thing is that you have to learn how to reset that and just go back to this default. So that doesn't mean, sorry, that you can't be upset, that you can't be sad, that you can't cry. It doesn't mean that. Being happy and having this happiness setting doesn't mean that you can't do those things. Those are emotions. That is called being human. Humans have emotions and we should experience all of them. But emotions are temporary. Emotions come and go. And you need to be able to go back when that emotion passes, then you go back to your default setting. And your default setting is happiness. Happiness, meaning that you are at peace with the world, that you accept that you are where you are because of the decisions that you've made in your life, that you're grateful for every little thing that you have, grateful for every experience that you've had. And although you have goals and you have aspirations, you're not envious because you don't have those things. You don't go around thinking about the things you don't have. You go around thinking and being grateful for the things that you do have. And I'm sure for those of you who have followed me long enough, you've heard me say this before. If you can't be grateful for the things you have, you don't deserve the things you want, because it's all energy. If you push something away because you think it's bad, whatever it is that you have now, how do you expect to attract something better? It's the same thing when you're in a relationship or when you're looking for true love, actually. You're looking for love. You know, it's so often that I hear people saying that they want this person that's this and has this character and looks so, and they're basically describing this perfect person for them, but yet they are so far away from being their best version, the best version of themselves. How could they expect this other person at this level that they put them up on a pedestal to go out with them when they feel that they're down here? You need to build yourself up to the level of the person that you want. Like energies, those are the ones that attract each other. So what you're getting is what you're giving. So if you're not getting the things that you want, that means you're giving too little. That means you need to push more. Push up, grow, become a better you. Look at what it is. Maybe you need to read more. Maybe you need to exercise more. And I don't mean it so much as in you're out of shape, that you look bad, but your health has a lot to do with it. You need to be moving around. You need to be eating well. You need to be enjoying yourself also. Have fun. Enjoy life. Enjoy everything. Yes? Moderation is key to everything in this world. But you need to be able to bring yourself up to that level where that person is that you visualize that you want to have. You know, you want them to give you all this. Well, what are you giving in return? Remember, you can't just take. And life is not about just taking. Life and fulfillment is about giving, actually. You should be concerned about giving. If you're worried, if you're concerned and you pay attention to giving and giving and giving, and the other people are doing the same thing, then by default you're receiving because the other people are giving. Yeah? If you give a lot, you get a lot. These things match with each other. So, going back to all of these things, the age thing again, if you are putting out that content, your whatever the content may be, you know, if it's written content, if it's music, if it's art, if it's whatever it is, but I mean the fact that you're actually going out there and you're fulfilling your dreams, you're like, I am going to do in this life what I set out to do, and I'm going to keep that happiness default that I had as a child. I'm going to go back to it. I am going to reset, get rid of my limiting beliefs, all these limiting beliefs that are holding me back, all the things I learned growing up that took me out of that happiness default setting. I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to push them aside. When I see them coming at me, I'm going to stop them. I'm going to move them aside and continue. I'm not going to let those things stop me. And I'm going to go and I'm going to have a happiness setting. That default is important. So stop making excuses. Go for what you want. Become the person that is in alignment with the things that you want. You have to be in alignment with everything. There is no connection if things are off kilter. So go ahead, go do your things. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys again next time.